So, I've been away for a while. And the thing is, I've actually not missed YouTube that much. To be fair though, I have actually had quite a bit to do. For example, you might notice this behind me looks slightly different, and that's because I've moved and the room behind me is a little bit of a dump, so you're not going to get to see that. Is it still? Oh, yeah, that's it. That's just a mess back there. And the thing is, I wasn't even going to come back to YouTube just yet, but I saw some news the other day that I just thought, I've got to speak out about that. You might well have seen these headlines over the past couple of weeks in saying how YouTube is changing and it's not monetizing videos, and basically it's the end of YouTube and life as we know it. But I do have a very interesting opinion on this. You see, the actual idea and the concept behind YouTube is purely to have freedom of expression and to show you the lives that we live and all this sort of crap. And advertisers tend not to like that. So the reason that this made news around the world is because YouTube is starting to open up a dialect between its advertisers and its uploaders, the actual people who create the content. And advertisers have been moaning for quite some time that their adverts are not being placed next to suitable content. For example, how clever is it to have an advert for shoes next to a video that's telling you about a suicide bomber who had bombs in his shoes? It's not, is it? That's why advertisers are saying, kind of don't want my advert for shoes going next to videos like that. And the interesting thing is, YouTube has been saying fine for ages about this. The actual policy that all of these really big YouTubers are complaining about has not changed in years, and it is nothing new for YouTube to say, we're not going to monetize that video because of what you have in that video. And it's not necessarily to say that you're creating crap content, but certain advertisers don't want their content being next to people who are swearing, who are talking about wars, who are basically like me on this channel. See, I personally have videos that can't be monetized because there are no advertisers that want to be sort of seen next to me while I'm ranting on about a war. And you know what? Fair enough. Because if I was in charge of a really big brand that I wanted to protect, I'm not going to want someone ranting on about a war to be associated with my product that isn't about war. So when you see all these big YouTubers, and well, in fact any YouTubers that are complaining about this particular rule, they are kind of just showing that they're only making content to YouTube for the money. You see, a lot of people have been saying how YouTube is sort of cutting back on freedom of expression now with this new rule. Well, for starters, the rule isn't new, and secondly, YouTube isn't saying that you can't talk about certain topics. They're not saying that you can't talk about war. They are not saying that you can't talk about famine, and they are certainly not saying that you can't use your voice to raise awareness about certain issues. What YouTube is saying is, do you know what? We make money from our advertisers. That's how we pay our bills. And we need to listen to what they're going to say. Otherwise, we don't make money. And that's exactly what this all boils down to. So yeah, this isn't a really long video. It's not a catch-up video for me. And I'm not pledging to start uploading to YouTube on a regular basis. But this topic really did kind of infuriate me because I just thought YouTube hasn't changed a thing. And yet they're getting sold down the river by so many people about this that it's actually a little bit unfair. You know, YouTube provides us with this base to show our own lives and for us to vent our own anger, like I tend to do on here. And that's a great thing, which hasn't changed. So don't believe it when you see that people are saying YouTube is cutting back on freedom of expression, because that's actually the last thing that they're doing. Some people are just all about the drama. Glad I'm not like that. I lie because I am. Right, I need a drink.